Learn English, speak confidently with Inkwell Stories. Hello, everyone. I'm Emma, and welcome back to our Confident English series. Today, we have something very exciting for you. We're going to talk about how to introduce yourself in English in a way that is simple, clear, and confident. And I'm here again with my wonderful friend, Alex.
Hi, everyone. Yes, Emma, I'm really happy to be back. Introducing yourself might seem easy, but many learners feel nervous. Sometimes people don't know what tense to use or what to say first. Today, we will give you clear steps, examples, and tips so you can introduce yourself without stress.
Exactly, Alex. Many learners get stuck on grammar, like whether to say, I working here since 5 years, or I'm live in London. Don't worry, we'll cover which tenses to use, how to avoid mistakes, and give examples you can use immediately.
Yes, and the best part is you'll see that introducing yourself can be simple and natural. For example, should you say, I've worked here for 8 years, or I've been working here for 8 years? Both are correct, but they give slightly different meanings. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly when to use each one.
Before we dive into tenses, let's talk about why introductions are so important. Your first words create a strong impression. People often remember the first 30 seconds of meeting someone. A confident introduction helps people remember you positively and can even make new opportunities easier to get.
Absolutely. And introductions aren't only for work. Even when meeting classmates, neighbors, or friends of friends, a confident introduction helps you feel comfortable and makes a good first impression. Plus, it's a great way to start conversations naturally.
So, let's start with the simple present tense. This is the most common tense in introductions. We use it for facts, routines, or general information. For example, you can say, I live in Istanbul, or I work as a teacher. These sentences are simple, clear, and professional.
Yes, and you can also talk about hobbies or interests in the simple present. For example, I like playing football, or I enjoy reading books. This gives listeners a little idea of your personality. Even short sentences can make a big impression if you speak clearly.
Exactly. Another tip, combine simple present with a friendly tone. For example, I work in marketing is fine, but if you say it with enthusiasm and a smile, it sounds much better. People often notice energy and confidence more than perfect grammar.
Right. Now let's talk about the present continuous tense. We use this tense for actions happening now or temporary situations. For example, I'm studying English this year, or I'm working on a new project at my company. It tells people about your current activities and makes your introduction more lively.
Yes, and it's useful when you want to talk about temporary situations. For example, I'm living in London for 6 months. Sounds different from I live in London, which suggests permanence. Using present continuous correctly makes your introduction sound natural and accurate.
Another tip, you can combine present continuous with hobbies or small projects. For example, I'm learning to cook Italian food this month, or I'm reading a new book this week. It's simple, short, and gives listeners a little insight into your life.
Exactly. So remember, simple present for routines or permanent facts, present continuous for current or temporary activities. Following this simple rule makes your introduction strong and easy to understand.
Now let's move to the simple past tense. We use it to talk about completed actions in the past. For example, I studied at Ankara University, or I worked at a bank for 3 years. It's common when talking about education or past jobs.
Yes, and adding a short story makes your introduction more interesting. For example, I studied computer science, and during my studies, I joined a robotics club. It was a fantastic experience. Short stories make your introduction memorable.
Exactly. People remember stories better than simple facts. Even a short story shows confidence and makes your introduction sound natural. For example, I worked at a bank last year and I learned many useful skills is perfect for beginners.
Another tip for beginners, don't worry about small mistakes. Confidence matters more than perfection. Even if your grammar is not perfect, clear sentences with enthusiasm are remembered better.
Yes, and one more tip, combine tenses naturally in your introduction. For example, I studied biology at university, now I work as a lab assistant, and I enjoy reading science books. This shows past education, current work, and personal interests in a short introduction.
Exactly. And that's why practicing these sentences is important. Start with simple present and simple past, then add present continuous. You'll notice your introduction becomes much easier and more natural with practice.
Perfect. And remember, when you speak slowly and clearly, add a little smile and organize your sentences, your introduction becomes confident and impressive. People love hearing introductions that are structured and friendly.
Yes, and as a small reminder, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. It really supports us to create more useful videos for English learners like you.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll continue with more tenses, like past continuous, present perfect simple, and present perfect continuous. These will help you make your introductions even richer and more professional.
Exactly. So get ready to learn more, practice with us, and feel confident introducing yourself in English in any situation. See you in part 2. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed part 1. Now we are going to continue and explore some tenses that will make your introduction even more natural and professional. Alex, shall we start with the past continuous tense?
Yes, Emma, the past continuous is used when you want to talk about actions that were happening at a specific time in the past. For example, you can say, I was studying English when I moved to London. It shows that something was happening over a period of time, not just a single completed action.
Exactly. And it's very useful when you want to give more context to your past experiences. For example, I was working on a big project last year, and it taught me a lot about teamwork. Adding these details makes your introduction more interesting and memorable.
Yes. And remember, the past continuous is always about something ongoing at a specific moment. If you just say, I worked on a project last year, it's fine. But I was working on a project last year tells people the action was in progress, which gives more context.
Another tip, you can combine past continuous with short stories. For example, I was studying at university when I joined a volunteer club. It was an amazing experience, and I learned many new skills. See how it makes your introduction more lively?
Absolutely. Stories like this help listeners remember you. Even small details like where or when an action happened make your introduction richer.
Perfect. Now let's move to the present perfect simple tense, which can be tricky for many learners. Alex, can you explain the difference between the present perfect and simple past?
Of course, the present perfect simple is used for actions that started in the past and continue to the present, or when the exact time of the action is not important. For example, I've worked at this company for 8 years. Notice we don't say exactly when, just the total experience.
Right. And it's different from the simple past because the simple past focuses on completed actions at a specific time. For example, I worked at that company from 2015 to 2023. Present perfect is more general and shows ongoing relevance or experience.
Exactly. You can also use present perfect for life experiences. For example, I've visited 5 countries, or I've learned 3 languages. It makes your introduction more impressive without giving unnecessary details.
And a common mistake is mixing present perfect with past simple. For example, saying, I visited Paris in 2018 is incorrect because the exact time is given. Instead, you would say, I visited Paris in 2018. Present perfect doesn't specify exact time, but shows experience.
Right. Another tip, when introducing yourself professionally, present perfect simple is useful to show your achievements. For example, I've managed several projects in my company, or I've trained new employees. It's professional and natural.
Now, let's discuss the present perfect continuous tense, which is similar but focuses on the duration or ongoing nature of an action. For example, I've been working here for 8 years. This emphasizes that you are still working here and it's ongoing.
Yes, Emma, and it's very common in introductions when you want to show how long you've been doing something. For example, I've been learning English for 2 years, or I've been leading a team on a new project for 3 years. It sounds natural in professional and casual contexts.
And remember, a common confusion is between present perfect simple and continuous. For example, I've worked here for 8 years versus I've been working here for 8 years. The first shows total experience. The second emphasizes the ongoing activity. Both are correct, but they feel different.
Exactly. Another tip, use for or since to show duration. For example, I've been learning English since 2022, or I've been studying for 3 hours today. These words are very common in introductions about study or work.
Yes, and it's very natural to combine different tenses in a single introduction. For example, I studied business at university, now I'm working as a marketing assistant, and I've been helping small companies improve sales for 3 years. See? Past, present, and ongoing experience all in one sentence.
Exactly. This flow shows your journey clearly, what you did, what you do now, and what you've been doing continuously. It's structured and easy to follow for the listener.
Another tip for beginners, keep your sentences short and clear, even when combining tenses. Long, complicated sentences can confuse the listener. For example, I studied computer science, now I work as a software developer, and I've been learning new technologies for 2 years. It's professional, but simple.
Yes, and don't forget enthusiasm and tone. Even if your grammar isn't perfect, speaking slowly, smiling, and showing confidence makes your introduction sound great.
Exactly. And that's why practicing these tenses together is important. When you combine past continuous, present perfect simple, and present perfect continuous naturally, your introduction becomes structured, memorable, and professional.
Perfect. And in part 3, we'll give you full examples of introductions and practical exercises so you can practice and feel confident in any situation.
Yes, so practice these tenses with your own stories and experiences. Start simple, then add short stories or examples to make your introduction more lively. You'll notice a big difference in your confidence.
Absolutely. And don't forget, at the beginning of the video, we mentioned if you enjoy these tips, please like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us create more practical English learning content for you.
Exactly. Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll put everything together and give you introductions you can copy or adapt. You'll see how easy it is to speak confidently in English. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed part 2. Now it's time for the most exciting part. We're going to give you 3 full examples of English introductions and show how to practice them. Alex, are you ready?
Absolutely, Emma. This is the part where listeners can see how all the tenses and tips we discussed come together in real introductions. Let's start with a simple personal introduction. For example, hello, my name is Alex. I live in London and I love reading books. I've been learning English for 3 years and I enjoy meeting new people and sharing ideas. It's short, friendly, and easy to remember.
That's perfect. And here's how you can make it a bit more professional. Hi, my name is Emma. I work as a marketing assistant at a small company. I've been working in marketing for 2 years, and I'm very passionate about helping businesses grow. In my free time, I enjoy painting and learning new languages. Notice how it includes work experience, current activities, and hobbies. It's structured, clear, and interesting.
Exactly. And the third example is a mix of past, present, and ongoing experience. Hello, I'm John. I studied computer science at university, and after graduation, I worked as a software developer for 3 years. Now I'm leading a team on a new project, and I've been developing mobile applications for the past 5 years. This gives a clear picture of your journey, current role, and ongoing experience.
See? These examples are not difficult, but they sound very natural. And remember, you can adapt them to your own life. The important thing is to structure it like this: past experience, current activity, and ongoing achievements or hobbies.
Yes, and now let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. Hello, my name is Emma. I live in Istanbul, and I love learning languages. I've been studying English for 2 years. Try to say it clearly, with confidence, and don't worry about mistakes. Practice is the key.
Exactly. And remember, when you practice, try to add gestures or a friendly smile. It will make your introduction feel more natural, even in online meetings or interviews.
And another tip, always prepare a few different versions for different situations. For example, a short one for social meetings, a slightly longer one for professional networking, and maybe a detailed one for interviews. Practice all three so you feel confident anywhere.
Yes, that's very important. And don't forget, repetition is key. The more you say your introduction, the more natural it becomes. Soon, you'll be able to introduce yourself confidently without thinking about grammar too much.
Absolutely. Another tip is to combine tenses naturally. For example, you can say, I studied biology at university, now I work as a lab assistant, and I've been reading research articles about genetics for the past year. This flows naturally and shows past, present, and ongoing activity.
Exactly. And short stories or extra details make your introduction memorable. For example, during my studies, I joined a volunteer club, and it taught me teamwork and leadership skills. This small story adds personality and interest.
Yes, and beginners often worry about mistakes. Remember, confidence is more important than perfection. People notice clarity, tone, and friendliness more than perfect grammar.
Another tip is to practice with a friend or record yourself. Listening to your own introduction helps you hear areas for improvement and increases your confidence.
Absolutely. And when you practice, focus on pronunciation and stress. Even simple sentences sound professional if you speak clearly and confidently.
Exactly. And don't forget to pause naturally. You don't have to speak everything in one long sentence. For example, I studied economics at university. Now I work in finance, and I've been helping small businesses improve their budgets for 2 years. Short, clear pauses make it easier for people to follow.
Perfect. And let's talk about introductions in social settings. You can be friendly and casual. Hi, I'm Alex. I love football and reading. I've been learning English for a few years and I enjoy meeting new people. Simple, confident, and easy to remember.
Yes, social introductions don't need all your work history. Focus on hobbies, interests, and a little about your current life. This keeps conversations light and friendly.
Exactly. And for professional networking, include work experience, current role, and ongoing projects. For example, hello, I'm Emma. I'm a software engineer at a tech company. I've been developing web applications for 4 years, and I'm currently leading a team on a new project. Structured, clear, and professional.
Another tip, practice your introduction several times a day, morning, afternoon, or before meetings. The more you say it, the easier it becomes. Soon, it will feel natural, even if you're nervous.
Yes, and one final tip, smile and speak with energy. It doesn't matter if you make a small grammar mistake. People remember the positive impression and confidence more than a small error.
Exactly. So practice these examples, adapt them to your life, and repeat them until they feel natural.
And before we finish, a quick reminder. At the end of this video, you can download a PDF containing all the example introductions and vocabulary lists to help you practice anytime.
Yes, and if you enjoyed this lesson, please like and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more useful content to improve your English skills.
Absolutely. That's it for part 3. Now you have full examples, practical tips, and a clear structure to create your own confident English introduction. Practice, combine tenses naturally, and soon you'll speak confidently anywhere.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, introductions are your first impression. With a little practice and the right grammar, you can make it memorable. See you next time.
Bye, everyone. Keep practicing, and don't be afraid to speak English. Confidence is the most important thing.
Download your PDF with example introductions and vocabulary from the link below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips.